Hello, lovely people. Oh, listen to my voice. Hello, lovely people. I haven't done a nutrition live 6 p.m. on a Monday for a while with all these bank holidays. So, hello, lovely people. I'll wait till you join. But lovely to be back here. Hello, how are we? Hello, lovely people. So, excuse my voice. Did you see my live this morning? 8 a.m. It's getting better. I rather like this husky voice. Hello, all of you joining. Look at this. Lots of lovely people. I'm going to wave hello. Hello. Do keep joining. Look at you all. Lovely to see you. It's been a while, hasn't it? Because of those bank holidays. I hope we all had amazing bank holiday weekends. Really healthy, not too much alcohol, sensible choices with the food. Everything's good. Look at you joining. Hello, lovely people. So, I'm going to start. So, how are you all? Now, I've got lined up here. My water. Here's the water jug. I'm always talking about this, how important is water. Yeah, 73% of your brain, 92% of your blood, 83% of your kidneys. It is everything. Water is energy, water is regular, water is less toxins, water is weight loss. Look at this little thing. I haven't done very well, have I? That's why we love this, because we know how much I've got to get through. So that's why I've got it by my side. I should be chugging that back, yeah? Then I should be putting my collagen in, because I haven't even done that yet today. It's been rather a busy day. Hello, thank you for joining. So we've got our water jug and our water. Have we all had 2.5 litres today, or 3 litres of water to help with our energy, with our toxins, yeah, with the health of our body? I mean, I had Cloud once. She started doing her 3 litres of water. She'd always had cystitis or thrush all her life. Once she started doing her water, she never had cystitis or thrush ever again. Isn't that amazing? It completely cleared up. So the power of water, what do we need in life? Breath and water. They're the only things we need. Breath, our breathing, and water. Power of water. Okay, fantastic. Then I've also got my tea. Yes, my tea, because I need that little perk, and that's with almond milk. So I'm kind of set up here, and I've got my little book here to answer all your lovely questions. Thank you for joining. So I think we're ready to start. As I said, excuse the voice. I'm actually fine. It's completely better. Last week was worse. So there are lots going around at the moment. And anyway, forgive me for my slightly horsey throat. So, hope we're all really well, and thank you for joining me. Let's get on with some of these lovely Q&A questions. All right, so the first question was about nuts and seeds. Now, I think seeds are absolutely crucial in the health journey. This is all about health, isn't it? I'm not talking toasted. We don't need to do that. Do animals go around toasting their seeds? It's always best to go au natural, yeah? And seeds, they grow on every hedge, they grow everywhere, and it's extraordinary. They are just, they make up the planet, and yet humans almost completely reject them now, which is really sad, because they're there for a reason. Every seed has amazing properties, really important for us, and Mother Nature, or Abdurrah, or God, or the Guru, whoever invented us, had a plan. Out went those seeds, and we were supposed to eat them, as we did for the first 149,000 years of human life, till sugar was invented in the last millennium, and now we only eat McDonald's and Burger King and Kentucky Fried Chicken and cereal and toast. But we did all, as you know, eat seeds all the time, and they're amazing for flavouring and cooking. So again, in Asia, everyone's always been much better at using their seeds. In the West, we've almost forgotten them completely, and yet they have such important properties. So I really do say scatter seeds on most of your cooking. They're absolutely delicious. They're a good carb, they're a healthy carb, they've got fibre, they help you go to the loo, but it's their properties that are good, okay? So, for example, hemp, very good for hormones. So I add hemp to, let's say, the yogurt in the morning or lunchtime or whenever you're cooking. Try and get that hemp in, because that's really good for hormones. Flax, really important for fibre. Everybody needs a bit more of that. As I always say, we're supposed to have 30 grams of fibre a day. And even if you have 100 grams of lentils, you're only having 8 grams of fibre. So we really do need to be having a lot of fibre. So flax is a really good one, yeah? Chia, be careful, it expands to 4 times its size. So don't just have chia. A lot of people say, oh, I'm having chia and everything. Chia expands to 4 times its size. That's how you can make a chia pot. So really, a little bit of chia with everything else. Now, chia is amazing. It's protein, zinc, copper. It's got a lot of properties in it. So chia is amazing, particularly for women. Skin and hair, for men particularly maybe. Skin and hair. Sesame, absolutely vital. Sesame is delicious, you can put on everything. So sesame is a winner, yeah, on everything. Again, put it in your yogurt, put it on your lunch, put it on your fish. Just really, we love sesame seeds. Again, skin and hair, really good. Omega-3, is your sunflower. So all of us need omega-3. So I definitely add the sunflowers whenever we can. You see, they all have their little properties and they're all useful. So what I always say is don't just get one type of seed, because we want all those properties. So I would go to any old supermarket or Holland & Barrett or wherever, get the big packets of seeds. They all come with ready mixed, yeah, all different ones. Choose, so keep changing. You want to completely mix it out so you have as many different types as possible over the year, and sprinkle a few teaspoons. Now they are 500 calories for 100 grams, if we care about calories. So we're not having spoons and spoons. Yep, but a couple of teaspoons over things just to flavour them up, just to make them more crunchy, just to make them more delicious, just to get more health in. Then seeds are a winner. And if you do the one-to-one with me, I actually do go through seed charts. We talk through the seeds, good for you individually. And I'm really a fan of seeds, as you'll know if you are a client. Okay, so and then the next one was nuts and seeds. We love nuts and seeds. Now actually, the Paleo company, you've probably seen my Instagram, the Paleo company do a cereal that's just nuts and seeds. It's so exciting. It's so exciting. No granola, no sugar. We don't want to start the day with sugar. No animal asks for granola in the morning, but they all want nuts and seeds. So nuts and seeds are fantastic. The Paleo Co, it's a lovely red box, and it's just nuts and seeds, which is just fantastic. Yep, so if you really want some cereal in the morning, just nuts and seeds, have it with almond milk or soy milk. And you know, how divine is that? You'll go to the loo, keeps you regular, you've got all those lovely seeds in there, you've got all those lovely nuts in there. Now, I'm not contradicting myself. People say, oh, nuts are really fattening, Pippa. They're not. Nothing, we don't want to restrict ourselves. We don't want to say no to anything. We all know that eggs, a hen has 1 egg a month in the world, and we make them have 4 eggs a day. We all know that no animal drinks from another animal's milk apart from us and cows. We know all these things, but we don't stop doing things because that would be restrictive, and we don't want any no's, do we? So balance and a little bit of everything is a good thing. So nuts in a recipe, nuts as flavouring, crucial, delicious. Nuts are really good for you. What I'm talking about with nuts is if you sit at home and have a whole packet of nuts, they're about 600 calories. Nothing wrong with that, but if you are in the weight loss stage and you're having packets of nuts, 600 calories every time, is that the best way forward in the weight loss stage? So I'm not saying don't have nuts at all, but let's think about not having them as a snack separately, packets and packets, like cheese, 300 calories a slice. We can have it in a recipe, and the same with nuts. So nuts as an ingredient, fantastic. So again, almonds, really good, and walnuts, particularly for cancer. So again, put them in your yogurts or put them in your salads. We all love nuts in our salads. Yeah, seeds and nuts in our salad at lunch. How divine is that? Yeah, big lunch. We'll talk about that in a minute. But lots and lots of nuts. And again, I go through this all in the one-to-one. I give food plans, recipes, menus, and we make it bespoke to you because some people like certain things and others don't. So that's why we have these one-to-ones, so we can go through everything and make it relevant to you and get your food that you like for your lifestyle, because everyone's different. Some people are traveling on planes, some people are stuck in the office, some people go out. So it's important that this fits for your lifestyle. So again, nuts, not packets, but just sprinkle it in your various foods as a flavouring, then absolutely fantastic. And as I said, they have a lot of health properties. They're a protein. So for my vegans, they're a protein. For my vegetarians, they're a protein. And as I said, they're very good at sort of cancer. They're very good for conception. If you're trying to conceive men, you need to eat lots of nuts. That's how you get the sperm pumping. So nuts are really, really crucial. But most of them are omega-6, so they're quite fattening. And as I was saying, we wouldn't be sitting having packets and packets, but putting them in anything we're eating as a flavouring, which is fantastic. So we're not just, yeah, we're doing everything in balance, everything in moderation. So yes to nuts and seeds. Ooh, we love them. And as I said, why toast them? Animals don't toast anything. Do we need to be toasting them? I just have them as they are. They're delicious. That's the way they're made. Let's do it. Okay, fantastic. And often cooking, you know, can increase starch and also can take a lot away a lot of the health benefits. So just eat them as they are. Fantastic. Thank you for joining. So many of you today. This is lovely. Okay, wonderful. So the next question was about exercise when you first start on my one-to-one. It all depends on what you've done before. Everything on the one-to-one is relative to the lifestyle you had before, what you did before. We're not going to suddenly reinvent the wheel and suddenly make you do lots of things if you've never done anything. That would be mad. And also, let's not forget, if somebody's already doing a lot of exercise before they start with me, then they're not going to see such a shift. Somebody who's a beginner, who's never done exercise, will actually see quite a big change just by doing a little. So it's kind of easier. Yep. So if I've got clients that I have who've run 50 minutes, 5 mornings a week, if there are people like that before they come to me, then they're not going to see a huge change in their visceral fat because they've always run 50 minutes, 5 mornings a week. So we would then think about something different, because if you do the same exercise all the time, it starts to plateau. Our body is designed to be energy efficient. It knows what you're doing. So, for example, if you went into the battle as the drummer every day, always going to battle, your body could cope with that. It knows what's going on. If I suddenly say, right, you're going in as the javelin thrower, your body, ooh, spike. And that's what we need to do to our body. We need to spike it. So whatever you're doing, if you're doing the same thing, you're going to start to plateau. Really, again, talk to me, because we need to spike it up, change it, do something different, have a couple of different options so that you actually start to see results. Because if you start to plateau, that's because you've been doing too much of the same thing. So in answer to your question, if a client's already doing quite a lot, then we'll talk about how we can change it, make it more efficient. This is visceral fat, yeah, the panting. But if a client's never done any before, and if somebody's very overweight, then obviously we're very, very careful with that. You know, a walk is fantastic in the morning. A walk is fantastic. A walk is more fat burning than anaerobic. Doing aerobic, at 130, is much more fat burning than anaerobic, 190. Anaerobic, sugar burning. Yeah, we want to be one level lower, fat burning. So actually we're not doing that much exercise, and we're not expecting anyone to go to the gym or anything like that, because the exercise in my plan, as you know, is we're trying to do as little as possible to get the optimal results, because of course we're all busy working people. Most people have kids, everybody's drowning. Yeah, we can't put too much pressure on. So it's all relative to what you were doing before. When you come to me, whatever you were doing before, I look at that, and then I'll either change it or intensify it or lessen it, or completely change it, or tell you what time of day you should be doing it. Look at your body, your endo, ecto, mesomorph. Change it, different times, different things. You know, you bulking, your muscle mass, too big, remember muscle mass. We want skeletal muscle mass, there's a clue. Yeah, so again, you might be doing the wrong kind of exercise and creating muscle mass. A lot of my beginner clients have maybe 3 stone too much muscle mass. Yeah, and that is not skeletal muscle, which is burning calories. It's a mass, your heart muscle, your brain muscle. It's all the muscles. Yeah, voluntary, involuntary, smooth. So muscle mass, yeah, can actually be too high to achieve the right health shape and weight you want to be the healthiest you can be. Yeah, so I work with you on that now. So, but with resistance, which is what I think this person's asking about, with a complete beginner, I wouldn't even start talking about resistance. If somebody's morbidly obese and just beginning on this journey, I wouldn't even start with that, because 80% of your body is what you eat and drink. So let's focus on getting the food and drink right, the timings of food, what you're eating when for you, yeah, what food you like, making a plan. So I wouldn't even start talking about resistance. Then I would start bringing in the panting, that, you know, for the visceral fat. I would start bringing that in, because if somebody is morbidly obese, normally the visceral fat is very high, and the visceral fat's the one wrapped around our organs. It can be quite dangerous. It's the one that creates your metabolic age. It's the one that ages us. So again, normally with a beginner starting with me, if they are morbidly obese, we would focus first on the panting, the walking, to get the visceral fat, to get that reduced, because that's the one that ages us. That's our free radicals. That's the one that's quite dangerous. That's the one that can cause strokes and things. So that's the one we'll work on first, particularly if the visceral fat on your chart is red. Then immediately I would have a plan, and we start working on that straight away. So with some clients, it might take us weeks to get to resistance. And resistance, as you saw in my Instagram post, I mean, this is resistance. Yeah, anything. You think of an astronaut in space, and they are blah, 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 there's no gravity, right? Anything you do to push against is resistance. So everything is resistance, and you can do resistance any time of day, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. As long as you feel pain, a warm tingling feeling in the muscle you're working, the bats, the boobs, the belly, the butt particularly, yeah, then you are creating lean tissue, skeletal muscle, and then the subcutaneous fat goes down and the skeletal muscle goes up. So resistance is crucial in the weight loss journey, but if somebody is morbidly obese and we haven't done any before, it's going to take a while to get there. We would never do floor exercises, because if we're very heavy, it'd be very difficult. When you're doing floor exercise, you see how hard they are. Almost your whole body weight is in your arms. So if somebody's, 18 stone, we're not going to put them on the floor, are we? Because you would not want to be putting that much body weight in your upper body weight, for example, if you haven't done exercise before. Yeah, and then doing weights, if you're doing standing resistance rather than floor, then again, if somebody's a complete beginner, first of all, let's get the food right. Let's focus on that. That's 80% of us. Yeah. 15% is exercise, 5% is your height. So let's get the food right. Let's get the drink right. Let's get all that right. Let's get the attitude right. Let's get the standing right. And then we would talk about the resistance, but that might come much further down. And then it would only be sort of, 20 minutes, 10 minutes even for some people. Yeah. A few times a week just to start understanding what resistance is. Yeah. Ultimately, to get high skeletal muscle and low subcutaneous fat to ultimately achieve your ideal shape and health, then we want to make sure we've got high skeletal and low subcutaneous fat. But for a beginner, that's not the priority, and it will make such a little difference. And the other thing about skeletal muscle, it takes 2 weeks for muscle to dissipate, 6 weeks it's gone completely. So if a client starts new with me and they haven't ever been doing resistance, then they have absolutely no muscle at all because you haven't used it for 6 weeks. You haven't used them, they're gone. Yeah, you have none. So a lot of people don't have any muscle at all. So again, it takes a long time to get resistance working, right? It takes a lot of time because, you're not going to see it immediately. You're not going to create a muscle in a minute. So again, we've got to put it in part of the journey. I don't want people to sort of think, oh, I'm going to, got to do lots and lots. You haven't. Yeah, and it's part of the long journey. And then my clients get, more and more resistance, getting more and more resistance. I've got one fantastic family. One of the sisters has now lost 72 pounds. The other's lost 62 pounds. The mother's lost 2 stone. The husband's lost 4 stone. They've lost 12 stone between them. And both of the sisters didn't do any resistance at all when they started. We didn't even think about it. We focused on a bit less wine, a bit less pasta. That's how we started. And now, a couple of months into it, now with this change, one of them particularly, well, both of them, they both do resistance and they love it now. And one of them's doing it really, I hope she's watching, she knows who's talking, I'm not mentioning any names. She's doing it with her husband every evening because resistance you can do any time of day, and I love that. So husband's loving it, she's loving it, you can do it in front of the telly. Client this morning, we're saying, okay, do resistance whenever you're watching telly in the evening, do your resistance. You've got the telly on, you can get your weights, resistance, yeah, magic number's 12, we're not doing hypertrophy, we're only doing metabolic resistance, or on the floor. So when you get those few minutes in front of the telly, if anybody has that luxury, that's a really good time to do resistance. And remember, resistance burns for 72 hours after you do it, not when you're doing it. So you could do 5 minutes right now, 5 minutes in an hour, 5 minutes at 7 o'clock, 10 minutes at 8 o'clock, 10 minutes at 8:30. Every time you do resistance, you're going to get results. Yeah, and it's not time specific. You're always going to get results. And so we build it into your lifestyle. And the one-to-ones, we build it into your lifestyle. So with a lot of people, resistance is probably the last thing I talk about, actually, with most of my clients who have, more weight to lose than others. That's the last thing we talk about, and we've got to find that we love it. So a lot don't like it at all to start with. It's so different if you've been a sort of team sport person at school. Resistance you're doing on your own. Yeah, but I'm not saying go to the gym. I'm not spending hours. I'm saying you can do it at home, on the floor, in front of the telly. Yeah, you can do it right now when you've got a Zoom call. You can do it anytime. It is no pressure, but we need to get the subcutaneous fat down, the skeletal muscle up to get that metabolism burning better. So we've got a body ratio, so we're burning fat, as I'm always talking about. And resistance helps that, but again, you can just do it on the floor in front of the telly or just with your standing weights. Again, I give my clients all these different ways of doing it for their body type, endo, ecto, or meso, and then that way they're going to get good results. So sometimes we don't talk about exercise till quite a lot into the program because resistance, some people find scary or intimidating, and I want people to feel the weight loss. When the weight's off, then it gets easier to do resistance. People feel less inhibited, less embarrassed. And once the weight comes off, so my client said that this morning. She said, oh, I feel great doing it now because I've lost so much weight. I now feel really confident doing it. I felt really underconfident. I hated it at school, but now she's feeling better about herself and she's got her confidence back. She's really taken it by storm. In fact, it's beautiful. And then she's lost so much weight again, even though she's been with me months. She's lost massive weight again because now she does it with her husband in the evening in front of the telly, put the kids to bed, and off they're doing their resistance. Isn't that a lovely idea? So you're doing it together, have fun, play with it. You can muck around. There's so many different ones you can do. You can do mine or just go on YouTube. There's so many different resistance workouts to do on the floor, slow and painful, with weights, slow and painful, all my lives, but they're a little bit faster. But again, you could take those down and slow them down and do them again in your drawing room any time of day. So no pressure. And we might not even talk about it the first month when you're on your plan, if you're a complete beginner. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, next one was lunch suggestions. Well, again, lunch has got to be the main meal, hasn't it? We are animals. Remember what I always say, 149,000 years of life, humans were farmer, hunter-gatherer, moving, labourers all day long, moving, you know, mining, digging, mowing, cave building, whatever we were doing, yeah, swimming in the rivers to get the fish, moving, and at 5 o'clock, it was dark, we went to bed. So everyone always had a big lunch, because you are worker bees, we're all worker bees, or we're all doing something, kids or work or whatever, we all need our power at lunchtime. That is the most important time of day. So, big lunch. So you've really got to be thinking, I've got to shove everything into that lunch. Yeah, so you're thinking a load of veg, carbs are the best. Remember, 80% of what we eat is carbs, fruit, veg, salads, spices, seeds, herbs and pulses. So loads of carbs, get them in there. Loads of pulses, they're the superfood, get them in there. Loads of protein, get them in there, whether it's tofu or avocado, or it's eggs, or whether it's chicken, or whether it's fish. Get it all in there. You want to have the biggest lunch you can have. So again, I give lots and lots of recipes to my clients, and I give lots of pictures to help those that, when you're a client, in the first session, I give you lots of pictures of food, because not everyone has time to cook. I never have time to cook. So I give lots of pictures of food you can get that's ready done, ready made, all very healthy, where you can get it from. We do a lot of that kind of stuff in the one-to-ones. So you have a complete plan of the best lunch to have, where you're going to get it from. You can order it in. I'll give you all the recommendations. Yeah, what kind of pulses, what kind of proteins, what kind of veg, what kind of salad, and really go for it with your lunch. You want to have a really big lunch, because it is the main meal of the day. So stuff it in. Yeah, we want to be full. Lunch is like double the normal size. Yes, we love lots of food. We're all foodies. Big breakfast, big lunch, we love it. Right. Okay. The next question was about what can cause slow weight loss. Well, obviously eating the wrong foods. But really what mainly, and this is the most important thing that slows weight loss, is lack of sleep and stress, actually. Yeah, so stress, you know, stress equals adrenaline, equals cortisol, yeah, equals actually putting on weight around the middle. And as we get a bit older and the estrogen goes down and the cortisol levels go up, that goes around the middle. But stress, remember, as I'm always saying, you are an animal. When you're in trauma, your body will stop burning fat. That's its first thing. I always say this. An anorexic dies, I hate to say it, because your body will eat the heart muscle first. It will never eat fat. It doesn't eat fat unless you put it in a situation that it has to. So basically it turns off the fat burning option as soon as it's worried, as soon as anything. So if you're stressed, fight or flight, your body's like, oh, quick, panic. There must be something going on, Turn off the fat burning, because I need to keep you safe. So your body will protect you and it will stop fat burning. So when you're stressed, adrenaline, glucose, you can actually put on weight. That will slow it down. But the main thing I want to talk about was sleep, lack of sleep. If you're sleep deprived, which so many of my clients are, I'm afraid you become insulin resistant straight away. The next day, bam, turns off. So it's very difficult to lose weight if you're sleep deprived, lacking sleep. Yeah, and I mean quite a lot, let's say 3 or 4 hours. If you're having 7 rather than 8, not worried. But if you're consistently not having enough sleep, consistently tired, then your body will turn off the fat burning, optimization, and you will literally become insulin resistant and you can't lose fat. Now, so I was up at 3 this morning. My daughter's doing her GCSEs and she couldn't get sleep. So I can tell you, I'm sleep deprived, right? So we know I'm insulin resistant. So on those days, the thing is, when we're sort of like breastfeeding, the more tired we are, the more we reach for those inappropriate sort of sugary foods, because we want it to give us energy. Oh, please help me. But the ridiculous thing is, as we know, when we have those sugar-inducing foods, the cereals, the toast, actually it makes us hungrier, because then obviously your body's like, whoa, yeah, you've got not enough water, body bloating, yeah, your body squirts that insulin to solve the problem, stores it as fat. It's a whole process, and then you want more. So every time we have those kind of sugary foods, we know we want more. So it's really tricky when you're tired, but really try and stay on my plan, even when you're tired. Really try and stick to binging all day on the most delicious foods and avoiding those processed sugars. And then get to bed and try again. It's so important, because as I said, you really can't lose weight if you're consistently sleep deprived. You've got your melatonin to get to sleep. You've got your magnesium to keep you asleep. Yeah, we talk all about that. We talk about meditation. Yeah, but really, the things, if you're asking what can slow weight loss, it is lack of sleep, It's the main thing. Remember, the Japanese, the biggest torture of all was keeping everybody stood up so they couldn't sleep. That's the biggest torture of all. Yeah, and then the next thing is stress. And then the third is inflammation. And inflammation could be anything. If you've got an injury, so if you're on meds, it's quite difficult to lose weight. If you're on meds, your body is trying to heal something. You know, if there's inflammation, it's inflamed, yeah? And your body's busy doing everything it needs to do to fix it, yeah? And so in which case, it's going to be difficult to lose weight, yeah? And that's why you take a turmeric, anti-inflammatory, yeah? And that's why we really try and sort out our estrogen levels, progesterone levels, testosterone levels, because if the estrogen levels are down, remember that's your joints, your ligaments, your tendons. So if your estrogen levels are down, you can have inflammation. Remember your collagen, that's helping you. That's 23% of your muscles are protein, yeah? And then 40% of your ligaments, your tendons, is your collagen. 80% of your dry skin weight, so get your collagen in, get your estrogen levels right. Every chance you've got to not have inflammation and to not be insulin resistant. Because when you're insulin resistant, you cannot lose weight. It's very simple. So really important, inflammation, stress, and sleep. And we cover all those in my sessions because, again, they can just slow it down, and we don't want any of that, do we? Because we want amazing results, which we all get. Fantastic. So, I hope that's helpful. So nuts and seeds, lunches, beginner's exercise, stress and sleep. Okay, so fantastic. Now I've just done a little Instagram post that will go out. I just love Katie and the Boutique's a lovely little website. They do lots of beauty stuff. Now summer's in, Vita Liberata, I'm not getting any money off this, I'm just telling you, it's a fantastic self-tan. Yeah, really good, because you just put it on at night, it smells nice, it goes on easily in white. And it's beautiful for the body, and you look great the next day. And this little babe, which I cannot live without, the Overnight Hyaluronic Tan Balm. Use it as a moisturizer, it's actually a miracle, and that's really good for the skin as well, for the face and neck. So those are really useful. So I hope that's all been really helpful. Oh my goodness, it's exactly 6:30. How do I do it? Goodness me. So thank you for joining me. Yeah, lovely to see you. Hope that's been useful. Share it with your friends. Reach out. Have a one-to-one program. Even just a 4-week one, we can change your life. Let's get you, where are we? May, June, July. It's coming. Yeah. So let's get focused. Even just a 4-week program. Let's do this. Let's take a grip. Let's take control. Reclaim our life. All metabolic age reversal. Let's get amazing results together. Let's get you to the healthy, it's all about health, the healthy, ideal weight and shape that you want to be for the rest of your life, so you can stay there permanently. The sooner we do it, the better. The older we get, the trickier, but it doesn't need to be tricky. It can always be sorted, and I really look forward to helping you. And thank you for joining me, and I'll see you on Thursday for my live. Hello, those that are joining at 6:30, and I'll see you 8 a.m. Thursday morning for the live fitness. Yeah, and I hope you enjoy it, and thank you for supporting me, and I'll see you all very soon. Lots of love. Thank you. Bye.